Lesson 3. Risk and Reward. Part 1. Expected Payoff. Today we find ourselves at the gateway to the stock market, a domain where mastering the balance between risk and reward is not merely a skill, but an art form. The capacity to effectively assess risk and reward distinguishes the most legendary investors throughout history. Risk involves calculating the potential losses if decisions prove incorrect. In the accompanying image, this concept is symbolized by the shark, representing the danger lurking in poor investment choices. Conversely, reward refers to the gains achieved when investment decisions are correct. This is illustrated by the treasure chest that the diver is exploring in the image, embodying the lucrative outcomes of wise investments. As an introduction to this type of analysis, let me ask you a few questions. Would you walk across a very tall bridge for $1 million if there was a 50% chance the bridge could collapse while you were crossing it? Is there any sum of money that is worth risking your life on for what is basically the flip of a coin? Most people would say no, not for any amount. Since the risk is catastrophic, the amount of reward doesn't matter much, if at all. As we can see from this example, some risks are not worth taking. Remember that when investing in stocks. What if the bridge is only 10 feet tall? But there are 2 alligators somewhere in the narrow river that it crosses. Many more people would take this bet. The reward is the same, but the risk is much less. Even if the bridge collapses, it's not very tall. You'd survive the fall. Also, since the river is narrow, you'd also have a good chance of reaching land before the alligators could get you. In Asia, pufferfish is a delicacy. It's also fatally poisonous if not prepared correctly. Would you take the first bite at your table for $100,000? What would you want to know before trying it? You'd probably want to know how many customers have died at the restaurant eating the fish. You'd also want to know how experienced the chef is. The point is that having more information helps people better assess risk and reward, which enables better decision-making. History is an important part of risk and reward analysis. I'll give you an example. If a friend of yours stole money from you, would you remain friends? What if he did it twice? Once might be forgivable, but twice starts to form a pattern of bad behavior. Remember the saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me. When investing in stocks, knowing a company's operating history and record of success or failure with things like new product launches or acquisitions is essential information when doing risk and reward analysis before making an investment. Let's do an example involving an investment decision. Would you take the plunge and invest $100,000 if you could make $10,000 if you're right, but lose $50,000 if you're wrong? So you could lose 5 times more money if wrong than if you're right. Since the risk is much greater than the reward, it's a bad bet. Let's try a different scenario. Again, would you invest $100,000, but this time if you're right, you'll make $50,000, but lose only $10,000 if wrong? In this case, you could gain 5 times more money if right than if wrong. The reward is much higher than the risk, so this is a much better bet. As I previously stated, the capacity to accurately assess risk and reward is fundamental to becoming a successful investor. This is particularly true because smart investments often feature low risk-to-reward ratios. These ratios help to quantify the relationship between potential losses and gains for a given investment. The formula for this ratio, as displayed on the slide, is straightforward: risk divided by reward. Here, risk refers to the potential loss associated with an investment, while reward signifies the potential gain from the same investment. A favorable risk-reward ratio is one that falls below 1, indicating that the potential gain outweighs the potential loss. Conversely, a ratio above 1 is considered unfavorable, as it suggests the potential loss exceeds the potential gain. Effectively, evaluating risk and reward in stock investments requires a solid understanding of accounting and finance, skills that we focus on in this program. Remember the golden rule. The more risk you're taking on with an investment, the more reward it had better offer. Conversely, less risk means that you should expect less reward. The key to smart investment decisions is to look for opportunities offering large potential rewards with low risk. There's a saying on Wall Street that always helps me remember the importance of the risk-reward ratio. It goes that you should never pick up pennies in front of a steamroller. The saying captures the essence of bad investment decisions. In this case, it's not worth running into the street to pick up a few pennies at the risk of being flattened by the fast approaching steamroller. The opposite of a good investment involves a stock with high risk and little reward. At this stage in our lesson, the most common question is, how do people accurately assess risk and reward in investments? As I said earlier, accounting and finance are indispensable tools for this analysis. Accounting provides investors with a detailed view of a company's financial health and historical performance, which are crucial for informed decision-making and optimizing investment outcomes. Meanwhile, finance offers theoretical frameworks and models that help investors project future returns and assess potential risks. Together, these disciplines equip investors with the knowledge needed to make sound investment choices. Given the importance of these skills, the remainder of this program will focus on accounting and finance to better prepare investors for the challenges of the financial markets. Let's look at the risk-reward ratio again. Something very important is missing. Do you know what it is? The ratio compares the cost of a loss to the gain from a win, but it does not take into account the chances of losing or winning. The probability of either outcome is missing from the equation. I'll show you what I mean about the chances of winning or losing not being addressed by the risk-reward ratio. We just said that an investment of $100,000 offering you $10,000 if you're right, but costing you $50,000 if you're wrong is a bad deal. What if we made one small change? What if there's only a 1% chance of being wrong and losing money? Is it still a bad risk-reward investment? Most people would make that investment because the chance of being wrong is only 1%, even if the cost of losing is much greater than the gain from winning. The investing world uses a modified risk-reward calculation called the expected payoff formula, which does take into account the chances of winning or losing. The expected payoff formula is one of the most important concepts in finance, and it is critical to making smart investment decisions. The formula is highlighted on this slide. The expected payoff of an investment is equal to the probability of a win, multiplied by the gain from that win, minus the probability of a loss, multiplied by the cost of that loss. How about an example to help you better understand the formula? Remember the hypothetical question from 2 slides before. Would you invest $100,000 if you could make $10,000 if you're right, but lose $50,000 if you're wrong? The chance of being wrong is only 1%. Let's plug in that information to the expected payoff formula. The expected payoff is equal to the probability of a win, 99% in this case, multiplied by the gain, or $10,000 minus the probability of a loss, just 1% multiplied by the cost, in this case $50,000. The math calculation is shown on the slide. The expected payoff is $9,400, so you should make the investment based on the formula because the expected payoff is positive.